What is going on, guys? This is Spade. This is going to be a second recording attempt at this video because the first one corrupted on my phone and only recorded a few minutes. This is going to be an update on the car after a weekend of work on it. As you guys can see, there's a bunch of oil still on the ground. I do have a pretty nasty oil leak on the oil pan. I showed you guys that in the previous video. But I did pull this bumper off, put in the grill. Finally, I've had this in the trunk of the car for 2 years now. Finally decided to go ahead and put that on and get that taken care of. And then one thing I also did over the weekend that I showed you guys before is I went and my friend Jared, also known as Jinko Racer on Instagram, he was running a Fancywide V2 diffuser on his E39, and he actually gave it to me. So this is a hand-me-down. This is a Fancywide V2 for an E39. Don't ask me what the V1 looks like because I honestly don't fucking know. But I went ahead and threw this on over the weekend. It was really easy to install. I kind of regret not filming the install of it personally because I was going to, but I just didn't. I was more focused on getting it done because it was hot, really hot. But I could probably show you. Maybe, I don't know, I'll show you in a different video. But you just connect these fins right here on each side of the bumper, and then the center section just bolts to it. Really easy. You connect this section and then it bolts to that. So you want to do the outsides first. This bolts to that, then you hold it up, screw it into the trunk, done. It is one of the easiest things I've ever done. The thought of installing it was more scary than the actual install itself. Most Fancywides, as you'll know, have a Fancywide logo on the side, but this one doesn't have it because Jared's car was silver and they wanted to do something a little bit different, and he actually painted these side plates silver. I painted them black. So one of the things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to get like a stencil made of my Instagram with like an Instagram logo and my name on Instagram, and I'm going to go through and paint it silver. I'm going to have silver paint with my logo, just because I feel like I don't want it white because I want the white to be focused on the wheels. I don't want white way down here. That's just how I want it. And I feel like this angle of the car has just improved significantly. I love how this looks. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. I did have to take off my DTM diffuser just to run the Fancywide, but I'm totally happy with how it turned out. I'm still not running an exhaust on the car. As you can see, there's a big gaping hole right there. I eventually will get something made. This diffuser didn't stay on great because the fins on this kind of pull it down. Just didn't really stay on that great, but yeah, I like how it came out a lot. And another thing that kind of happened that I realized is I was always wondering why this fender, it's still a little bit higher. If you look at it compared to this side to the passenger, this side's higher. But whenever I was going through before, I measured the fronts at 25 inches from fender to ground, and then this back passenger corner on this side is 24 inches fender to ground. But I guess whenever I got to this corner, I only remembered the fronts, and I did this side 25 inches. So it was always an inch higher, and in my brain I was like, why does it not look as low as the other side? And that's why. So one of the things I did yesterday, I came out and I did adjust the coil, brought it down a little bit more. I still need to bring it down a little bit more, not a lot, maybe like a full turn, just to get it right where I want it, right in that sweet spot of the passenger side. But yeah, I'm happy with how everything's going. Still got some body work. You can kind of see some dings if you get that in the right light. You can see some dings. I need paint work done on the car again. It's not perfect. I did pick up a random orbital for like 30 bucks that I was using to kind of buff and polish the trunk. For the most part, it did work, but I can't really do any cutting or compounding with it just because it doesn't have variable speed. So it's not like a paint correcting. It's not good enough to use as a paint correction tool, but it is good enough to use to like polish the shit out of the car. So we are going to pick up some better tools to try to knock some of this stuff out. But I've noticed I've just got like random nicks and stuff all over my car. But overall, she gets driven, so you can't really complain about anything. And then just a random thing I'm going to try to do today, might actually do here in a second. I'm going to pull these vents and then I'm going to paint them black like this, because I don't think I can save this carbon fiber anymore. Because even if you get it wet, it's super dull to the touch. It's just really dull. I don't think I can save that anymore. And then also I need to pull these off and get these re-cleared, like reshoot these, and then I'll actually hit them with an expel film to try to save them from future damaging. This one's a little bit worse for wear in terms of it. Still need to get a new lens for that. Yeah, I mean, we're doing what we can, slowly but surely. And then another thing that happened a couple of days ago, I forgot to put my radiator cap on, and I drove the car and it blew off. That's what all this is. This is coolant, but it blew everything off. But that's really it. Yeah, one thing that's bugging me is this, like you see, this is fresh. See it all shiny? That's all fresh. I need to change the oil pan on here real bad. But lots of things to do, one thing at a time.